Hi, Tom Richardson for New England Boating, and I'm here in Brighton, Massachusetts at the Community Rowing Center on a beautiful late May morning. I'm about to hop in a boat with Captain Greg Miner of Charles River Charters and do a little urban fishing down on the Esplanade and some other locations on the Lower Charles. Let's check it out.
Right here in the heart of Boston, you have one of the nicest, cleanest urban riverways in the country, and the fishing is phenomenal, and I wanted to show people that. Right here as we drift through the bridge, I like to throw a few casts and run the bait parallel to the wall. You know, there's some submerged pilings and things under here. As you learn a little bit more about the river, you start to learn about where there's things you can't see, but you know, the way that the current flows, the bridge pilings, the submerged pilings, they all, you know, create current break, which will attract your bait fish and then of course your larger fish. And so this is a nice area that I like to target before we head, kind of the last stop before you head down to the lower basin. You do have obstacles that you have to contend with. It's not as if you can just come out here and fly up and down the river. There are speed limits, there are rules and regulations. It's a beautiful ride, so if you can take the time to just enjoy it and cruise the river, it's well worth it. The water depth is all over the place. You know, for instance, right now we're in 9 feet of water. We're right out in the middle, right between the MIT Bridge and the Mount Auburn Hospital. But then very quickly, this entire area will come up to about 3 feet. I'm using a Strike King spinnerbait, a 3/8 ounce chartreuse. It's got one Colorado blade and one willow blade, which I like for this time of year. There are a lot of different kinds of fish in here. Obviously largemouth bass, there's smallmouth bass down here in the lower basin, your whole variety of panfish, black crappie, yellow perch, you know, different types of sunfish. There's a lot of pickerel in the water. So you see, we came from about 9 feet back there, we came up very shallow to 6 feet. Now we're dropping back off, and as you can see, we're finding a little deeper hole here, marking some fish. So you have to have the right boat to get through here. That's kind of why the flat bottom, the low profile bass boat works well. You know, but even some of the guys with, like, you know, the nitro bass boats, the traditional fiberglass V-hull boats, even they have a hard time getting through here. When the water level drops in the summer, you know, and the weeds thicken up, it becomes a little bit more difficult to see. There's some submerged timber, there's cement blocks that come out from each side of the arch of the bridges. So you have to always watch what you're doing out here. You can't just sort of cruise through blindly. You have to do a little research and know what you're getting into, you know, before you head in there. But when you do, it can be a lot of fun, and it's well worth it. Just a little guy, but you know what? That means we got the right idea. Healthy little fish. That's the future. We call that the future. Late May, early June. I like to start out back near where we launched from in Brighton. The water's a little bit shallower back there. There's some flats and areas that'll warm up quicker. I like to hit those early in the season. And then I like to run down here and really fish these lagoons, fish the drop-offs with, you know, the shallow feeding flats with access to deeper water. Those are the things I like to target early. Once the fish spawn or post-spawn, then you can get a little bit more less selective with where you're looking to go. So then, you know, you're targeting drop-offs, deeper water. The main lake, I mean, the main river is good for that. The lower basin itself, from about the Mass Ave Bridge down, when the water gets warmer and the summertime comes, is where I like to focus. The water's a little bit cooler. There's bridges. There's all sorts of submerged contour changes that the fish really like. And so, you know, it's basically a matter of, I like to start out a little shallower early and then work my way to deeper water as the summer progresses. Right now, the weeds aren't too bad in here. In the summertime, they get pretty thick.
They basically could be anywhere in here.
Oh yeah. So here's a nice little fish. Caught him coming through the bridge in the Sturlav lagoons out here in front of the Esplanade. And this hit one of the big bite bait stick-tail worms I like to use. And we threw it just off the bank there coming through. It's a nice healthy looking fish.
Got nice.
Here we go. This is a better fish. Let me just make sure I'm moving straight here. That's what we're looking for. Just out in the middle of the lagoon, right in the weeds, just like I suspected. Now that is a much better fish. I thought we were going to have a day like yesterday with intermittent clouds, and I had a chartreuse spinnerbait on, but it stayed bright blue and the sun was bright, so I decided to switch to this white spinnerbait, and it's made all the difference in the world.
Well, what a great trip on the Charles River. Thanks a lot, Greg, for showing me the Esplanade lagoons and the great fishing that's available right in downtown Boston.
It's hard to believe sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. It
never
is.
ceases to amaze me, but we did good today. It was a good day.
It was. It was a good day indeed, and you can have a good day with Greg and Charles River Charters as well. What's the website and phone number, Greg?
CharlesRiverCharters.com, 508-560-2496. Life is better on the river.
Yeah, that's right. It sure is. Until the next time, I'm Tom Richardson for New England Boating. Thanks for watching.